Hello everyone. Hello. Welcome in. I'm Metroid Crime and I'm here today with Kariohki, who is going to be speedrunning Silhouette Mirage for the Sega Saturn. How you doing tonight?
I am doing quite well. How are you?
Doing great. I'm very excited to see this game.
Yeah, so last time, this is my second time on this show, thank you very much for having me again. Last time I did a showcase of a rhythm game, and now I'm actually going to do a speedrun for you, because yes, I do speedrun.
Awesome.
Alright, so whenever we are ready, I will actually go into the game, and I will go through to the start, where I will give you the countdown to start then.
Yeah, sounds good.
All
This
right.
is a really anime opening cutscene.
Yeah, it's such a good opening cutscene. I love it so much. I love this game. I'll go into a little bit of the history of like me learning about this game and playing it as I go through some of the bits here.
Awesome. Sounds good.
So thank you all for everybody that voted in the poll. You did vote for the Japanese Saturn version, so thank you for saving my wrists, because I don't have a turbo controller for the PlayStation, but I do have a turbo controller for the Saturn. So we skip the tutorial here. I will let you know when time starts for the run. It will be when I gain control of the character.
Okay.
As we're old school for this game. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, time starts in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So, have you heard about the company Treasure?
I have. I actually watched a speedrun of the Ronald McDonald game.
Yeah, McDonald's
I
Treasure
didn't
Land
realize-
Adventure. When people
Yeah.
think of treasure, that's like when they think of obscure treasure, that's usually the one people think of. Treasure known for games such as Radiant Silvergun, Ikaruga, Mischief Makers, Astro Boy Omega Factor, and of course McDonald's Treasure Land Adventure. And not many people remember that this game exists. But this was also made by them, and it was actually made around the same time as Mischief Makers. This was released in 1997 for the Saturn, with the PlayStation version coming out in 1998, I believe, in Japan, and then 99 in the US. This came before Ikaruga, so you might see some mechanics here that are very similar to that game and how that works, namely the red and blue coloring for the different sides, different attributes. So here we're earning money, because capitalism. And I need to earn, in this version, 900 money to get the weapon I'll be using for the rest of the game. So to earn money, I gotta punch the enemies. And I grab the enemies and punch them with my hair.
I love that, by the way. That motion of the punch has so much gravity behind it. Like, it's very good sprite work.
Go over here and... So I can hold the punch button down a little bit more. Please stop shooting me. To get a little bit more boost to the punch and make a bigger money jewel come out. I'm just gonna destroy this enemy. 500's pretty good for the first section here. Give me that, thank you. Yeah, she's grabbing the enemies with her hands and then punching them with her hair. It's great. Yeah, so this game runs on like an attribute system. As you can see, my character has red on one side and blue on the other. That's a Silhouette Mirage, Silhouette being blue, Mirage being red. And enemies in this game can only be harmed by the opposite color than they are. So I had to destroy those enemies on the first screen, the cupids there, by shooting them with my blue bullets. If I shoot them with red, then their spirit meter goes down. And here we'll be seeing, I believe their Japanese name is devils. They're called specters in the US version. I'm a little bit better on the US names when it comes to some stuff. So I did not shoot them with red to destroy them. If I shoot them with blue, then their spirit will drain. Spirit is how they do it. That's how enemies do attacks, and also how I do attacks. So you see at the top left there, I have 2 bars. One's HP, and one is my spirit. Why are you floating in the middle of the air? Top bar being HP, bottom bar being spirit. Obviously, if your HP goes down to 0, you lose a life. You get 10 continues per run.
Oh, that's forgiving.
It's pretty forgiving. Okay, We are at 777. 777, nice. I need to get 900, so maybe one more trip, possibly two. If we jump down to the bottom, the enemies will respawn. So we can just kind of come back up here and...
Pretty, not bad for farming, then.
Nope. Come back, I need you. Not you, I need the other one. There we go. One more trip after this one. I am 3 short. I can just, like, kill the enemies then, and one should drop a money. One drop of money. Okay, good. We're gonna go up here. This is a secret shop. Kind of off the beaten path. There is one secret shop for every weapon type in the game. I think there's like 7 or 8 weapon types. You gotta scroll all the way to the top. And here is my level 6 sloth, and I will be using him for the rest of the game. He is my friend. So weapon levels range from level 1 to 6. Level 6 being the highest there, and what this one does is it kind of gives an auto-aiming, pretty powerful shot, and turning turbo on makes it even stronger.
Oh, wow.
So did I despawn the enemy? I did, good. So yes, we do allow turbo. I do have a turbo controller. Little Bomberman turbo controller. We do allow turbo for this game on the leaderboard to save your wrists from mashing. Or you can just hold down the button and it will auto fire, but it does less damage unless you mash it. So that was a boss, and here's another boss. All right, one shot. Yeah, the first guy's a boss. You can just stand still and shoot him, and he will die. That is a walker boss. That is a special type of boss where they are neutral type, and you have to reflect shots at them. So along with your grabby button, it's also a reflector that you can reflect the same color shot at you, and it'll turn into a neutral shot, which will damage both HP and spirit. That applies to you as well. If you get hit by a neutral shot, you will take spirit damage as well. So main form movement, a double tap to dash, double tap to crouch, and then also dash. Another boss here. Okay, he was good. You want him? He can summon he can summon 3 different things there, and you want him to do the spring because he will stay on screen when he summons the spring.
Wow, yeah, that beam is just taking out bosses.
Yeah,
like,
it's strong. You should not have you start with a level 1 sloth, but in a level up as you go through the game if you use it. But so having a level 6 weapon now is extremely overpowered, and it'll start catching up like very late game is when like you normally have one of these. There's, like I said, there's like 7 weapons. I think they're named after the 7 deadly sins. So this is sloth, but he's not very slow. Each weapon has its own different sort of thing it does. There's like one that shoots out gas clouds. There's one that's like a boomerang. There's one that makes wings in front of you. There's one that's like a homing beam. There's one that's a giant laser. But this one's the best because it's just very simple. It auto hones in on enemies. And in the US version, it drains the least amount of spirit. And you're like, wait, what? You're shooting enemies, but your spirit isn't going down, right? No, it's not. That is a change in the US version, because Working Designs, bless their hearts, like to make changes to their games to make them harder. So that's why in the poll that I said that even though the US version, I said it goes faster, it actually is a little bit more difficult to play due to that mechanic change, amongst others.
Got it.
Alright, boss. Reflect, corner, down. If you let that boss go too long, he'll start banging around his armor, and it's loud, and everybody gets mad and start throwing stuff at you. Looks like this. This level's also an example of the different graphics in the Saturn version. There's a lot more detail and reflections in the buildings. And there's like a whole other background layer as well. But yeah, back to Working Designs. One of the changes they made is that when you fire your weapon, your spirit drains, which is okay most of the time because you can shoot enemies to gain your spirit back. Except for most late game bosses, which is when the game becomes really hard. Okay, this is Zohar. We stand a non-binary icon here.
Very good outfit.
Yep, again, corner, slam, get them on the rebound. Zohar can fly around a lot and shoot, and can also change sides, just like you can, and then you have to switch sides yourself, and their blue side is more physical, while their red side is more ranged. Melee and ranged. Alright, we got some cupids on motorcycles here. This is random how long it takes for the others half to come up, so we kind of hope for them to go quickly. I said we kind of hope for them to go quickly. I said we kind of hope for them to go quickly. Thank you. You can see the reflections in the buildings here. That does not exist on the PlayStation version. Just, you know, graphical power differences. My input got eaten. Thank you. Alright, another walker boss here. So we're going to lure it all the way to the edge as far as we can. The walkers in the Japanese version are slightly smarter. So that one will not walk all the way to the edge like it will in the US version. Another change that the US version has that you'll notice here is you see that they have a 60 HP. US bumps that up to 80. And doesn't make them too much harder because neutral damage is also buffed in that version, so it does more damage to everything. This will become apparent in a much later boss that'll take a long time to defeat in this version. That was a boss, by the way. Another later boss will take a long time to defeat in this version, but takes 3 shots in the US version. No loading screen. So now is like the first like big RNG boss. And yeah, you can always switch. You switch color by switching directions. I can press if I was stupid, I'd press X, Y, Z, and then your polarity would flip. So I'd be facing right and I'd be blue. But the game is kind of built on right being red, left being blue. So you don't want to switch polarity. I think there was like one case that another runner found where it made sense to switch, but it costs 100 spirit to switch, so it's kind of not smart to do that. All right, here's the giant gun, giant revolver. Bullets will come in. I want to keep the pink ones on screen. That's a good round. That's 5 out of 6. And you gotta reflect the shots at it.
It's very imaginative.
Those are some weaker shots at the end there. That could have been a 2-rounder. 4, that's pretty good. It's gonna be 3-round gun. 3-round is pretty normal in the Japanese version. US is very possible to get 1 round. Just from the increased reflector damage. There we go. Nice. So you think that boss was creative? Let's wait to the next boss.
Oh yes, I'm so excited. Which version is your favorite?
Oh, it's a toss-up.
Yeah.
It's a toss-up. This one's a little easier to play, but I have so much nostalgia for the US version. Also, the voice acting is really good in the US version.
Yeah, this sure is an imaginative boss.
This is the boss. Flying cat girl fish who likes flowers very much. And she wants to eat the candy and her leg itches. Alright, you're mixing it up on me? Okay. You want to keep her near the front, just so that when the battle ends, we don't have to walk too far, and she's going to play me, and she's going to charge once there, and we can't hit her. She's going to charge again here, because she's floating back. To wait for her arms to come out. Each arm defeated does 40 HP damage. That's the only way to take down her life bar. Okay. These two will be in. There we go. Of course she was off screen when she died. She just wants us to buy her pretty freaking flowers, but we don't buy flora from giant homicidal flying fish.
Yeah, that seems like a good policy to have. Yeah, those reflections in the background are gorgeous. Those look really good.
I'd say if you're just to play this game casually, play this version. It doesn't have saves in it, but it is easier. Or play the PlayStation version, the Japanese PlayStation version. Every version's about the same price these days. They're all hovering like 60 to 70, I'd say. It's gone up in price a lot. I think maybe the US version might have crested 100 by now. So it's just shot up in price just from retro stuff, and maybe more people are finding it. I don't know. I hope more people find this game. It's a lovely game. I found out about it in Game Informer. Alright, here, we don't want to move from where we stand. We can just jump. The enemies in the back will start throwing stuff at us if we move to the left here. So we just want to stay still, jump up and down, and now we move. Also, the music in this game is just amazing. Small soundtrack, but probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a really interesting gameplay mechanic with the two different, like, meters. I feel like I've only played, like, one other game like this, Deeplit and Wonder Labyrinth had a similar system.
I need to play that. I started watching Record of Lodos War a few weeks ago. I only got one episode in so far because I got distracted. But,
yeah.
Deeplit's cute.
Yeah, I hadn't actually seen the anime beforehand. I had, but I heard the game was great, and it was like a, like Metroidvania style, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll totally try this. I really liked it, but it was such a unique, I thought it was such a unique mechanic with the different, like, red and blue powers, and then someone was like, oh no, it was in, I think someone mentioned, like,
Ikaruga, yep.
Yeah, yeah. Which is also a game I haven't actually played, but it's really interesting. I really like it.
Need to wait here quietly because he's shy. Oh, look, it's a friend.
That's such a cute sprite.
Oh no, he's over
Oh
there.
no! No!
He's not friend! A fun glitch that the US version has. You can punch him in the right-hand corner and he will not attack you. And he'll just stand there until you move far enough away when he'll start attacking you again.
Oh, that was also a great gimmick with that just being a stage.
Yep.
Oh my god.
They tricked it. That's just a painting. And now we have the smiley face from Heck. Another fun gimmick, you have to shoot the smiley face from Heck for the body to appear, because it's a chameleon. And depending on what color you shoot him with is what attacks he'll use. Where did he go? Where are you? Okay, there he is. I didn't even see the smiley face in that second half there. Wow. We go with blue because the red side has a homing shot that gets really annoying. So, the plot of this game, I don't know. It's very convoluted. The very basic part of it is you're the messenger of justice. You got awoken when your protection shelter was attacked after the Earth was split into the two attributes and Giant War started. And it's your job to fix everything. And everyone's out to get rid of you because they don't want you to fix everything. And then stuff happens. Alright, here's Zohar again. Sometimes it's faster just to start shooting at them instead of trying to get them in the corner until they come at you and then you can get them in the corner. And they're gonna go behind me, thank you.
It's a very Super Smash Brothers looking level.
It is. That would be a very that's like you know, Fox only FD, no items.
Yeah.
That's the first boss I ever defeated, Moses, or Bug. He is like our friend now. We beat him up, he became our friend, and he's helping us go between the different areas of the world to get closer to the center of the world to go fix everything. So, we're gonna be heading into an auto-scroller here. So that would be a perfect time to take any questions from chat or questions from you, or I can just talk about my history with this game in general, and I guess it'd be kind of a history of speedrunning as well for me.
Yeah, actually, if you could talk about, like, yeah, how did you get started in speedrunning?
So way back in 2006, I found the SDA forums, Speed Demos Archive forums, somehow. I don't remember exactly how. It might have been by finding Metroid 2002 and reading about Metroid Prime speedruns and Super Metroid speedruns, or I might have just found it organically somewhere else, or GameFAQs, I have no idea. But I joined SDA in 2006, back when there was no streaming. YouTube upload file limits were like 40 MB and 10-minute long videos. There was no capture cards that weren't like super expensive. To get your speedruns online, you had to send them to a guy named Nate, and send them, I mean, you need to record them on a VHS, and mail them to Nate, who had equipment to rip them off the VHS. Eventually it moved to DVD, and then eventually he had this program that could rip those DVDs from the computer as well. But for a while, that was like the only way you could do it, and that's why Speed Demo's archive was kind of built, was to be a high quality video repository for speedruns. Back then also, segmented speedruns were the way to go, because you can only record up to 2 hours, maybe 1 hour, on a high quality VHS tape to have the best pixels. So the longer runs, RPGs weren't run super often, and even these games like this game, when I started running it, it took about an hour to run, just from the path that I used and just my abilities back then. And that would be like, do I do it on one tape and sacrifice some quality, or do I segment it? Because even platformers like this would be segmented in some cases, depending on how long they were. This game doesn't have an entry on SDA because neither me or the other runner that picked it up in the early 2010s, late 2000s, neither of us were ever happy with our times enough to send it to SDA. So there's actually no SDA entry, and I'm still, like, I could submit it still someday. If I can get world record, I might. I'm, second place in this version. I have like a 40-something, I believe.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I have to be a little careful in this hallway, because you can soft lock. It's never happened to me. It's very rare, but it's happened to 2 of the other runners.
So for a game that you've been playing for so long, like how regularly
could you leave the screen? Did this seriously just happen?
Did you just soft lock?
Did I just seriously soft lock? Oh, okay. That's never happened before. I was just talking about this.
I
know. Okay.
So what do we do in this instance?
I'm gonna put the debug code in and do the level select and get back to the section.
Okay.
Yep, I'm just gonna reset my console, and we are going to use the debug code. Let me look up the debug. I need to look the debug code up. Give me 1 second. All right, run invalid. I was actually just looking at the debug. What do you call it? Oh yeah, ignore this. This is how I play the game. Oh shoot, I need to. All right, hold.
We get to see the great loading screen for Treasure. That's great.
Okay. Debug on. And I need to remember which level I need to go to. I was writing this down somewhere, actually, where all of the different debug things are. Let me see if I can find that file.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Botanitor says, this has never happened before, is a surprisingly common occurrence in live
Oh, goodness.
We get to see this great cutscene again, so...
Yes. Actually, I'm just gonna go through and, let's see. We were on stage 4. So I think if I go to 4-1 or 4-2, that should be okay. We're just gonna go 4-2 and see if that is the right area.
Okay.
Although I won't have my weapon. Ooh, that's gonna be...
Oh, yeah, that might...
Wait, I might have... Since debug mode is on, I might have unlimited money. Yes, I have limited money. Okay, we'll make do. We will make do with this. I will just have to use, I think debug mode also turns on ultra shops, so I should be able to buy the weapon back.
Perfect.
So, I'm gonna be careful here and make sure the enemies aren't always running around. So, what happened there, the game soft locked because the enemies kept running around and the, specters on the right never spawned in. This should be fine this time because they did spawn in. Yes, okay.
There we go.
So luckily there's a shop right down below me, and the shop should be unlocked. And I should just get, even if not, I'll just grab the whatever highest level slot I can get. All right. So now what has happened to all 3 major runners of this game that we have gotten the 4-2 soft lock.
Well, congratulations.
Sloth is here. Yep, here it is. Alright, we're back in business. Back to your regularly scheduled run. This boss is pretty unique. Faust here uses his shadow to make different silhouettes to attack you with. That was a good one. The dragon. He has a tank, he has a giant laser. You kind of want him to stay still and not move around too much and just destroy him there.
That was a great boss death scene there with him, the bomb silhouette. That was amazing.
Yeah, very, very appropriate for him.
Yeah.
And right into another boss. Let's make this a good one. Oh, she's not actually a bunny girl. Oh, come here. Sometimes I like to show off by doing a juggle there, but it's not necessary at all, because she will just melt right here. I said she would just melt right here, but no, she had to open her head and deflect my shots a little bit. That's fine though.
There we go.
I'll get rid of these enemies here, because lag.
Oh yeah, how often is that something you have to worry about? Like, is there a lot
relatively. There's a boss later where it can start lagging pretty heavily, and I need to kind of juggle how many enemies I'm keeping on screen and how many shots I'm doing. There's actually a spot where I'm going to turn my turbo off because advancing the text with turbo in that one area slows it down. It's faster to mash. Hey, it's all soup. I'm at soup! Welcome to the second auto-scroller boss of the game. Or should I say very random boss of the game. It's essentially almost an auto-scroller. We have to punch enemies into the soup. The soup will turn blue, the bubbles will be blue, and the boss will sniff them. And when he sniffs the blue bubbles, he takes damage, and if he sniffs the red bubbles, he gains spirit, and at 100 spirit, he will attack you. That was a lot of red bubbles. That was all red bubbles, in fact. Might get to see him do his attack here because I'm getting very unlucky on enemies on my side. It's a little too risky to really jump between the sides. You're not going to gain much by going between them, and you can't really reach the enemies on the other side unless you have full spirit, so you can't really even destroy them. But, so yeah, back to the history of speedrunning, because I got interrupted by my game crashing, or soft locking.
Wait, one question before you go into that.
Yeah, go ahead.
What kind of soup do you think that is that's blue?
I mean, let's see, it's got seafood in it, it's got potatoes, it's got corn, we're punching pumpkins, carrots, minestrone.
Yeah, okay, good answer, good answer. So, the history of speedrunning.
History of my speedrunning. I picked this game just because at the time I knew it took me about 2 hours to beat it casually, so I figured, oh, you know, cut that in half, be about an hour's worth to speedrun it. Most of my early times, again, were like hour. I was really happy to get the sub-hour at one point. I think I have that run on DVD recorded or something like that. He's gonna do his nose beam in like 1 second here. And, You can still find my earliest posts on SDA that show like, oh, you know, here's how I'm going to segment this run into all the different levels, and some people showing some interest in it, but no one else really picking the game up. I was the only runner until, even to like the early streaming era, until Chaos picked it up and started really drilling the times down. The first time I ran this game at a marathon was in 2012. I think that was Hurricane Sandy-thon, I believe. I have it on my sheet, but I don't want to pull it up right now and look. But the first time I ran this like, at a major event, I was on the AGDQ 2013 bonus stream, where I got a world record because I played on a slim PS2. That was when I learned that PS2s have different loading times depending on the model.
Oh yeah, totally.
The day after I got back from AGDQ that year, I drove down to a, I don't know, like half-hour away GameStop because they had PS2s in stock, and like picked up the latest model. I've been using that one ever since.
That's amazing.
And then Chaos kept bringing the time down from there, and discovered that later on there's a boss with a timer, and you know, it actually makes sense to beat the boss before the timer runs out, even though it's harder, because it takes less time to not run the timer out. Who'd have thunk? So we actually changed which bosses we fight at the end of the game a couple times, just from how long they take. And the route's been pretty solidified since I'd say like 2015, 2016 or so. And it's just pretty much down to RNG and movement to get the times down. The world record is like, I think for US it's like a 36, 37 minute run, and then JP is a 39-minute run. Just from the extra grind at the beginning for the 900 money, because in the US version you only need 300 money, which you can get on the first screen of the game pretty much.
This is a pretty small leaderboard, right? Not very many.
Very small leaderboard. There's me, Chaos, Shentok, and Cronoon, and for the JP version, and then Dark Vince has run the US version, so it's like 5 runners total. I am willing to teach anyone this game if you wish to pick it up. It is very good. I mean, sub-hour platformer run. Oh, I can't skip this cutscene. Okay. I think that's a debug mode bug. Usually you can skip this cutscene. Thanks, game.
It's okay, we get to see the very good graphics.
Yeah, all the good graphics. That stage also has additional graphics in it. It has more graphics. It has a whole extra layer of buildings on the background. Alright, heading into a very, very special area, and I'd say this is where the wall of difficulty kind of happens for casual players. It definitely did for me as a kid. I never got past this area until I got a mash here to actually get to the text, because it's faster to mash. By this point in my first casual playthrough, I ran out of continues. And I was like, I don't want to restart the whole game because it's so hard.
Yeah.
And I just could not get past the final boss of this area. Are Sega Saturn's region free? No, they are not. There are ways around it. You can use carts to get around it, like I do with mine, or you can just import a Japanese Saturn. I don't have a Japanese Saturn. I have a Japanese PS1 and PS2. I have a Japanese PS2 and a Japanese Dreamcast, though. Because there were certain games that didn't run via the, other methods to run Japanese version games on those consoles. But not too difficult.
That was a very interesting boss design.
Oh, yeah. Prince Dam is their US name. It's a two-headed, hello? Controls? Thank you. Two-headed goat sheep snake. One side's a rocker and one side's a professor.
They had very cool sunglasses.
So this is the boss that only takes 3 shots in the US version because of the additional reflector damage. It takes a lot more in this version. I'm gonna go ahead and bump that, and maybe he'll come up. Nope, he's not gonna come up that way. Please come up there. No? Yes? Go. Go up there. Sit there. Sit. Nope. Okay, fine. Oh, didn't escape.
Wow.
Get him in.
The sprite work is wild.
Scooter.
That was so cool.
So here, the gimmick of this area is all the bosses are neutral type, so I have to reflect at them. I can't shoot them. It doesn't do anything. Witness our power, microbe. This boss is the RNG boss of the game, and I think I call my split for this, like, this is where the run dies or something like that. He can go down easily in a minute, 2 minutes in this version, maybe, very quickly. If he just stands still like this and does that, perfect, look at him do it. Not get bounced around too much, plays nice, doesn't jump everywhere, doesn't go into iframes like that, doesn't wander around not attacking. Nope. Come on. Doesn't jump into the wall. There can be a lot of lag here depending on how many of his like flunkies are on screen. And you kind of want to keep some alive so that he can maybe get shot by them, but they also cause lag. You can get stuck in an AI loop as well, which is great. No? Nope, you're gonna jump around. Okay.
Is he just spawning these guys out of
Yep,
like the
he can spawn them out of these black bombs here. Oh, he got bumped the wrong way, dude. Come on.
He's got so little health left.
I know. Come on, dude. There we go.
Perfect.
And he blows everything up. The English version, the US version, adds some nice, like, they take some key stills from the opening scene and they add it in between all the loading screens there, and it makes it really nice looking. As we saw earlier, this version does not have saving. I think it might, you can get into that level select if, like, your system crashes and it, like, notices that, but I think that might only work on, like, an actual Japanese console, and it, you know, if you lose stuff like that, it might keep it in, like, the soft memory or something. But the PS1 version does have saves, which is nice. The PS1 version also adds an additional final boss, so you can choose to fight a different boss that they added in. And also it adds a secret boss called the Reaper. If you play that version and haven't died after you beat this boss and have not died, you will get into a cutscene to fight that boss if you choose the correct answers. And this is why in the PS1 speedrun you have to die once before this point, because it's faster to die and use a life than to answer the questions wrong.
Got it.
Speed strats.
yeah, totally.
That boss, the Reaper, is like, you can't actually skip any cutscenes, okay, in debug mode. Usually there's a skip button up there, but alright, I don't think there's like one long cutscene near the end that we're gonna, you know, lose some time on, but that'll be okay. Just get to see it then.
Yeah, totally.
So this is the final area of the game, the final, like, side-scrolling area. Pause here. Jump? No? Okay, thank you. So here's your good old Saturn lag. We're gonna get rid of these enemies as fast as possible to stop it from lagging as much. Because these walker sprites are just a little bit too big.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We're gonna reflect that. So we got one fast walker, one slow walker. We're gonna drag them over to the edge here. Come here, all the way over. And the edge corner there is still there, so you can trip them over it. Alright, the fast one died first, I think. There we go. Oh, nope, you're gonna not trip. Thank you. We're just gonna make you shoot at me instead. Nope, wrong side. Come on, come here. Alright, there we go. Now you can trip. There we go.
I love that there's just like these random mechs.
Being piloted by like little tiny enemies in them.
Yeah.
It's great. All the different forms of like the mook enemies are just awesome in this game. You got the flying kinds, the ones on the motorcycles. Could you get off the wall, please? Thank you. The ones in the mechs. And now those enemies are gonna become our weapons in the next boss.
Ooh.
So a little bit of a plot dump here, showing that we are approaching the kind of center computer of the world and everything. Very good oh ho ho there. And
Yeah.
This is Galgalin. He's very hangry.
What is he like a double, like what is that, a lizard, double-headed lizard?
Yep,
or...
a double-headed trash compactor dragon.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'm all for it. I like his circuit board wings.
Yeah, he's a grabby hands. Little grabby hands. We got enemies will chase us around, naturally. Gotta chase them to his grabby hands. And since he's hangry, he's gonna grab them and eat them. And we need to have him eat 10 enemies. He is programmed to go towards the enemy the same color as his wings are. Okay, we're gonna get 4 here, so it's gonna be a little slow, that's fine. We just need to get 4, 4, 3, 3. So now, once they start spinning, he's locked into eating them, so we can just defeat the other enemies on screen and try to prevent lag. Once he eats enemies and they squish, he will change attribute, and you gotta repeat the process but with the other type of enemy.
Got it.
This is going to be very unintuitive if you don't notice what he's doing. I've seen people get stuck on this boss and not know how they're damaging him. Because you can't shoot him, you can't target him. You pause the thing. Is like, I don't see where to hit him.
Yeah.
Boop. Wait a minute. Eat the food. He's trying to sync him up, I think, a little bit. Yeah, he sink it. Dink it and sink it. Nope. I want to destroy these ones. So my spirit went down there. It went under 1 level. I only need him to eat 3 at this point, so I can knock that one out of his hand, actually. There we go. Alright, 1 more round after this. Enemies will drop spirit refills, so I don't need to, like, buy any or whatever. It's not too big of a deal that my spirit's down, because I do have the turbo button. If I turn turbo off, I would have to start mashing at this point, though. Because the auto-fire only works over 200.
Oh, got it, okay. Yeah, so I guess if you were to drop down again past that next, like, barrier or
yeah,
whatever,
plus my...
weaker.
Yeah, plus my bullets are smaller, they're not firing as far. Please drop a mana thing, it just makes things so much easier that I have higher spirit. I was gonna start defeating the enemies as it grabs them instead. There we go, back over 200. Alright, he's gonna die here in 1 second, so I'm just gonna stand in the middle. There we go. Of course something punched me out of my standing spot. Thanks!
Yeah.
I was all ready for me not having to walk back, and he just like, nope, bang.
I assume that saves time to be, like, perfectly placed in the center rather than, yeah.
Yeah. You don't waste time walking back into position for the cutscene. So,
Yeah.
as I was mentioning before, there's different bosses for the different endings of the game. This is the first path split, depending if you defeat Zohar here in if you defeat him in 2 minutes, or if you don't defeat them. Nope, come here. Alright, you're gonna be rude and change sides. I need to get you away from those. Oh, you're gonna change sides again.
So rude.
That's actually good they changed back, because those reflector things will also reflect my shots. Like that. Okay, you change back again. And I am actually kind of low on spirit. I might take a death on the next boss just to refill my spirit. If I get down to 0 spirit, I will eat my weapon to restore it, and that's not good.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I might take it's better to take an HP death than a mana eat, I guess is the way to say it.
Yeah.
So we destroyed Zohar. You can usually get him within 15 seconds. Get that boss down if they stay still, or if you get him in the corner. And Zohar will have their shackles removed and turn into a bigger boss. And we call this the hard boss. This is we're on the sort of the medium/hard path at this point. If you don't defeat Zohar within 2 minutes, you get an easier boss, but obviously it takes longer because you have to wait 2 minutes. And then that other boss has way more iframes and just takes longer to defeat.
Got it. Is it a different design as well?
Yes, it's a completely different boss, completely different soundtrack and everything.
Oh, wow.
Alright, sword swipe me, please. Thank you, once more. Thank you. Make sure to turn my turbo off so I didn't back out of that menu by accident. Because I don't know what stage number this is to warp back to.
Yeah.
I'd have to warp back to before Galgalin to get my weapon back, technically, so. I had a really good Zohar fight last night in practice. I got them down to 1800 HP before they changed sides. And then it was like pretty easy to get them down. So at half HP, their pants fly off and start zooming around the screen, trying to hit you, and we'll also start doing lasers from the back. Alright. I hate when they do the sweepy laser thingy. And we got pants lasers coming from the back here. Maybe I can defeat them in time. We got Saturn leg.
Oh no.
Nope, I gotta dodge it. Okay. There we go.
Nice.
Not bad. I'll call it a medium Zohar.
Yeah. Revenge of the Pants. My
Yeah,
gosh.
their pants just fly off. Just zoom around the screen, shoot pants lasers at you. So there's not really any. This is a pretty straightforward speedrun. You just gotta. It's skill and RNG. There's no glitches. There's no tricks really. Most of the games I ran up until Magic Knight Rayearth were all pretty much glitchless runs, and then all of a sudden that game got glitches, and I'm like, oh, I gotta learn glitches. Oh no.
Yeah, that's a terrible feeling, right?
Oh no, I have to actually learn glitches. So here, coming up after this next scene, is our next ending choice. If we pick this option on the left, that's the good ending. If we pick this one, it's the bad ending. Bad ending, medium path, takes less time. So normally I'd be able to skip this bit here, I think. Yeah, normally I'd be able to skip this cutscene, but debug mode turns off cutscene skip for some reason. So we get to watch Har here absorb himself into the Edo computer after Megiddo appears, and then because Har and Megiddo are like two halves of the one things start falling apart, and now Megiddo's like gonna fight us again. The other path is, I think the computer blows both of them up and then takes you to the center where you actually meet the boss of the computer to reset the world back to how it should be. And that's the good ending. I call this the medium path because this is the medium level boss. There's no easy boss in this version. In the PS1 version, there is a different boss if you lose against Zohar and then pick the like, restore the world option thing. There's a different boss there. So we gotta get him to half HP. And he's gonna transform. And then we get to do one last trick. And this was like the last time save that was found in the run. Turn my turbo off. And I'm gonna hit A, B, and C at the same time to do the parasite bomb attack. And do it again. He is not playing nice. He's reflecting everything. Yeah. That his basically his standard thing is to reflect. As long as he's not attacking, he has a reflector up. So you gotta wait until he stops reflecting. And I'm just gonna switch to my. Come on, HP damage me. Thank you. No, I want to switch to that weapon. Thank you. My level 1 weapon just in case. No, one more attack. Thank you. Alright, switch back to my level 6. And parasite bomb again. He can go down in 2 parasite bombs as long as he's just standing there attacking.
Yeah.
And he's gonna knock me off. And that's fine. One more. This should do it. Time.
Nice. Oh, time. Perfect. Awesome.
That was a run!
You know what? Despite the fact that you softlock, I still think that's super cool to get to show that off to everyone. Also, like speedruns don't always go.
Yeah,
as you want them
speedruns
to
do
go,
not
right?
always go.
Yeah.
Very lucky that this game has a debug code that I can just go, yoink, I'm gonna go right back to where I was, thank you.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, this game is great. It feels great to play. It is a little bit difficult. I make it look really easy. If you want a challenge, don't go to the secret shop and just play through naturally with whatever weapon you choose. It's a lot of fun. Different endings to play. The PS1 version has an additional boss at the end here. Even though this is the bad ending, it's the happy music, and everyone's happy. Basically, main character decides that she's gonna kind of take everything into her own hands and fix the world herself her own way, instead of like blowing. I think she's like a time bomb or something, and if she destroys herself, then the world will reset. And she's like, I'll find a different way other than using the computers or like setting myself off or anything like that. Yes, just a very good little game. Just I'd say this is Treasure's most forgotten game, because everybody knows Mischief Makers, everybody knows Radiant Silvergun and Ikaruga. When you think of like the meme game, you think of McDonald's. You think of like their like last good game is Astro Boy for the GBA. We don't remember this one at all, and
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching this. This was awesome. Thank you so much for showcasing this.
And if you want to learn how to speedrun it, I have a guide, mostly written, or you can just
Nice.
ask me. I will gladly teach you how to speedrun this game. It's not that hard of a speedrun once you know how to play the game, essentially.
Yeah.
The last addition that Working Designs did to the US version, by the way, is that when we get to the credits, the actual like scrolling credits with the song and everything, they put a little part where you can like control Zohar in it and fight enemies, and you actually glitch the credits out by knocking everything off the screen and knocking the main character off at the end when she says like thanks for playing. It's kind of funny. That's always like a fun way to like cap off like a good run, is by glitching the credits out.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, thank you for having me once again on this amazing show. It's great. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, thank you for being on. Is there anything else you'd like to plug before we switch out for tonight?
I mean, you can follow me on Twitch and Twitter and wherever. My username is kariohki, because that's my username everywhere. I don't stream super often. I'll probably be streaming a little bit more coming up. We'll see. The Flame Fatale's schedule drops tomorrow, so if I get into that, I'll have to be doing some derusting on stuff.
Oh gosh, yeah, I'm so anxious about that.
Yeah. Final Fantasy Relay is also coming up the same weekend as one of the same weekends as Flame Fatale, I think the final weekend. I am in Final Fantasy Relay on August 26th playing Chocobo GP. So that'll be great. It's like the first time like one of the more spin-off games has been in that. We're like leading off the marathon and everything.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be, it's me and Groggy Dog and DCF. So, you know, me who kind of kickstarted the Chocobo speedrunning, like the racing ones. Groggy Dog, who just did an amazing performance at SGDQ, and DCF, I believe they're the world record holder, but they're probably one of the better Japanese players of the game. So that'll be a really fun relay race to watch there. But yeah, I stream all kinds of speedrun, some casual stuff, some rhythm stuff. You've seen me play my rhythm stuff before. I need to start streaming again. It's just, you know, it makes me tired.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Streaming is tiring, but it's fun. But yeah, that's about it for me then.
Awesome. Okay, well, yeah, thank you again so much for coming by, and thank you all for tuning in tonight. I hope you enjoyed the game.